Hi, it's Thomas Cook from Toronto's real estate team at RE/MAX Hallmark, and here is our January 2012 Toronto real estate market report. January's average sale price was up compared to 1 year ago, but the listing inventory was again lower. We're going to talk about what's special about the January market as we go through this month's report. So let's review some of the Toronto Real Estate Board statistics. January MLS sales totaled 4,718 houses and condominiums in all the districts. This sales number was up 5.3% from 1 year ago and was about average for Januaries since the year 2000. 32.6% of the market sales were condo townhouses and high-rise suites, with 1,489 units changing hands during the month. The January average sale price came in at $463,534, and that was up 8.5% from 1 year ago. East of Yonge and south of Bloor in the CO8 downtown Treb district, the condo sales price average was $386,266, while west of Yonge in CO1 the average was $409,874. And I'll give you some more condo market details in just a few minutes. As you can see from this Toronto Real Estate Board monthly sales graph, January sales are up marginally, about 5.3% from a year ago. If you discount 2009, when we're just coming out of the world economic cataclysm, the sales numbers are about average for the past 10 years. It's definitely not an overabundance of exuberant buyers who are causing a rise in Toronto's average sale price. Here's where the problem lies when it comes to increasing prices: low inventory. There are two measures for tracking the Toronto Real Estate Board's listing inventory. One is new listings, as shown here. Starting in June and from July on last year, new listings outperformed 2009 and 2010, which is a good sign. This January kept the same trend with more new listings than last year. However, the other measure is total listing inventory, and that has not fared well at all. 10 months out of 12 last year had fewer total listings compared to the year before, and January of this year was no exception. We had a total of 11,009 listings on the Toronto Real Estate Board last month, which was a 9.4% decline from January 2011 and down 14.4% from December. In the last 12 years, we've had an average of 14,000 to 18,000 houses and condos on the market during that month. We definitely need more product to sell, or prices will continue to rise as they did last year. The January average sale price of over $463,000 was the highest January average price ever, and was actually higher than half of the months last year. In the old days, January used to be a slow month as we slogged through the snowdrifts, but this year's balmy weather has caused us to have a vigorous month. The sales to listings, or percent chance of selling ratio, is how we determine what type of market we're actually in. 24 to 28% is a neutral market, below 24% is a buyer's market, and above 28% is a seller's market. In January, that ratio moved back up to 41.5%, a moderate to busy seller's market and the second highest we've seen since the year 2000. Mortgage rates have continued to be very affordable, and a 5-year fixed-term mortgage can now be had for around the 3.15% mark. Over the past few weeks, some lenders have been offering 2.99% for 4 or 5-year terms, but those discounted rates have almost disappeared. Mortgage rates have continued to be very affordable, and a 5-year fixed-term mortgage can now be had for around the 3.15% mark. Over the past few weeks, some lenders have been offering 2.99% for 4 or 5-year terms, but those discounted rates have almost disappeared. And that's a good thing, actually, because the last thing we need in our local market is more stimulus to buyers. We really need some seller stimulus. As you can see from the graph, January's average home price was again much higher than January of last year, and even exceeded the average prices in the entire first quarter of last year. If nothing changes with interest rates, and we avoid a global economic meltdown, the high levels of buyer interest will result in another year of 7 to 8% price appreciation. The downtown Toronto condo market showed a lot of contrasting numbers between east and west of Yonge. In January, downtown condo average sale prices were up 8.6% in CO1, west of Yonge and south of Bloor, and up just 3.5% in CO8, east of Yonge and south of Bloor, compared to 1 year ago. This could be partially explained by a 22% decrease to 642 condo units in inventory in CO1 from January of 2011, and actually lower than any month last year, while listings in CO8 were down just under 20% to 174 apartments. Contrasting that, however, the ratio of sales to listings in CO8 was in seller's market territory at 37.4%, while CO1 west of Yonge was in neutral market territory at 26%. Based on this, there shouldn't be any negative result to brand new suites coming on the market in 2012. With up to 15,000 suites being completed downtown this year, let's assume that 20% of them go on the market for sale. That would average out to an additional 250 suites per month across CO1 and CO8. I believe the market can handle these additional condo units with perhaps a moderating of the rate of increase of the average sale price, which would benefit many first-time homebuyers. For the first time since early 2009, the affordability graph is trending downward, mainly due to a decrease in interest rates. Both the 4 and 5 year fixed-rate mortgages are now hovering just above the 3% mark, making them at historic lows. The banks are responding to some oblique pressure from the federal government's concern about overborrowing by adding restrictions to the lending rules for self-employed borrowers, the ones they consider the most risky, especially concerning providing better proof of income to support their mortgage payments. So where are the opportunities available to Toronto home buyers and sellers this month? With all the information freely available on the internet, it's easy to believe that someone can go through the home buying process without spending some serious time with a competent real estate coach and advisor. But life isn't that simple. Many of us learn by listening and doing, besides just reading text on a computer screen. A home buyer's workshop is intended to allow a future buyer an opportunity to learn how the home purchasing process all comes together, and, at the same time, be able to ask the many questions that most people have about the very serious business of purchasing a house or condo in Toronto. So, check out what happens at the class at homebuyerworkshop.com. That's homebuyerworkshop.com. A terrific opportunity for buyers to take a look at what's available in interesting neighborhoods is to join one of our market experience tours. They go out daily and are customized to specific areas of the city and price ranges. Go to dailytorontohometours.com, that's dailytorontohometours.com, and put in the ideal day and time for the tour you'd like to join. Are you a bit curious as to what most Toronto buyers and sellers are looking for and appreciate in the realtor they decide to work with? Check out whatpeoplearesayingabout.us.com and watch videos with real people telling real stories about their real estate experiences. It's almost like a reality show on TV. All the best, and check back here in early March for the February Toronto Real Estate Market Report.